Welcome to another episode of The Walking Trophy. You guys, I'm riding a high right now, and the energy in this episode is about to be absolutely fucking iconic. Because today, with me, I have the founder, the creator, the channeler herself of the, listen carefully, Tap and Twerk method. I have sitting across from me today Miss Kelly Pender, who this woman created a methodology for radically expressing and shifting identities in a way that truly, and I mean truly, nobody else in the world has brought forward yet. And I'm going to have Kelly tell us everything about it today. So without further ado, Miss Kelly Pender, welcome to the Walking Trophy.
Oh my gosh, Caitlin, thank you for having me. What an intro. What a time. This is so fun. I just love being in your energy. I love celebrating one another and just being tapped into that winning motherfucking frequency.
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go. We're in the winning zone for this today. Okay, so because I know everybody at this point, their ears perked up when I gave that intro, I want to jump right into this. Can you tell the people why you're going on a world tour right now for Tap and Twerk? What the hell is fucking Tap and Twerk? How did this come forward? And what type of transformation does it create in our winning women?
So, tap and twerk. In case you're like, what is this girl talking about? We're going to twerk. When I say tap and twerk, tap is EFT tapping, right? So we quite literally are freeing ourselves from emotions that we've been unknowingly operating from, creating from, expressing ourselves from for fear of rejection, potential hate comments, judgment, all the things. And from a past experience and a past identity, we've been filtering ourselves. And so many of us, women, female leaders, and entrepreneurs desire to be massively visible. We desire to be tapping into more wealth, more fame, more just fuck yes opportunities. And so in order to do that, we have to get out of our head and into our body. And so we tap, and then I have you twerk in public, because the truth is, if you're going to step into your next level identity who has next level income, wealth, and visibility, you gotta get comfortable being seen in something that makes you really fucking uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. You can see why I asked Kelly to be on the podcast because we're out here on the same damn mission. Get into your body, get out of your goddamn head, and go be a powerful fucking winner because of it. So, something Kelly said that I think is really important is that a big aspect of Tap and Twerk, and I personally experienced this when I did Tap and Twerk with her, is that you were being witnessed in front of others. This is not something you're hiding behind a Zoom screen where your camera's off and you're actually just like looking around at all the other heads, wondering if they're actually doing it. No. You are out there, you're in public parks, you're on stages being professionally recorded, you're in rooms with other women who also deeply desire to scale to their next identity, to be fully expressed in their mission, and to be able to reach their impact to more people because they know that they are the truest embodiment of who they are. I mean, hello, is that not exactly what we talk about around here? So, my question to you, Kelly, because I think people can hear this and go, oh my God, that sounds great. But then there's a little bit of othering where they go, oh, but that's really great for her. That's really cool that she figured out how to do that. But I don't know. I'm not really a twerk artist over here. Can you tell me, have you always been somebody that felt comfortable, safe, and embodied being very expressive? Like, have you always, even back to when you were young, have you always been someone that felt like you could express yourself in big ways?
Yes, and then no.
Okay. Do tell.
Yes, and then no, because what happens is, and these are all experiences that we suppress. These are all moments that we just bury away deep in our subconscious mind and deep in our body. And so body-based scaling actually helped me uncover this, which I can share at any point. I won't give it all away. But there was a point where I was in high school or junior high, 14 years old, and I was dressing differently than all the other girls, right? Like very expressed, short skirt, like cowboy rhinestone boots, very curly, big hair when everyone else was in the hair straightening phase. And so I go into school being like, I love myself and I'm so confident. I love the way I dress. And down the hall, someone screams at me, slut. And so in that moment, I decided it wasn't safe for me to dress how I wanted to dress. It wasn't safe for me to be confident. It was easier for me to choose to hide who I am and to downplay. And in that moment, I went into my safety identity and I had to relearn how to confidently, fully express myself all over again.
Okay. So you feel like you were really expressive as a kid and you felt okay standing out. Like, you loved being able to express yourself, but then an experience happened and it just completely rewired the way that you experience that expression. And yeah, I think that's really common. Unfortunately, I think it is really common. It can be a parent that stifles it. It could be a peer, like you said in school. It can even show up, I think, in different ways throughout our life. Like even in the entrepreneurial space, maybe you have a coach that says like, "Oh, don't show up that way. That's unprofessional." I think we hear that all the time. You might relate to that. Or, you have to stay within these bounds. You have to stay within these lines. This is what's expected of you. So what do you feel like from going on this journey of having to, or I'm not going to say having, getting to rewire and getting to rewrite this relationship with expression? How do you feel like you have grown as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as just a woman in your life since you've realized that there is so much beauty and honestly so much gold in being able to be expressed? Like, what has that brought to your life?
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, like I could look back on that experience and be like, fuck her, fuck that girl, fuck everything she said to me. But I'm like, what a gift that I experienced that because I had to relearn how to heal a visibility wound.
Mm.
I had to relearn how to fully feel safe expressing myself beyond my home, beyond my car, beyond my safe space, and just anywhere in the world. And so, I mean, honestly, the more fully expressed you are, the richer you become. And I'm just going to say that right here and now. This is truth. I am a 3-5 projector human design. Like I'm here to trial and error. So you don't have to. And I've been trial and erroring since I was fucking 14 years old. Okay. And what I found over the past 20 plus years, I won't tell you my age, what I found is that the more fully expressed I allow myself when I give myself that permission, people feel that. And I truly became the walking energetic permission slip of fullest expression, big fucking deal, because I started with me. And that's contagious. And that can't be taught by reading a Google document. That can't be taught by downloading a fucking free PDF.
Oh my God. Say it louder. Yes. Oh my God, this is huge. Okay. The key that I pulled away from there is like, start with me. Start with myself, start with my energy, and watch the way that that's going to bleed into other areas of my life, the way that's really going to manifest. And so, something that you said that we're going to highlight is this is how you get really fucking rich. This is how you get really fucking rich is to be fully expressed in who you are. And I know that I'm speaking to the expert on being really fucking rich because, oh, what's that behind you? Is that a is that a book? Is that the book on how to become rich coded by Kelly Pender? So what I'm getting is that you actually wrote the book on how to code yourself into a rich identity. So Kelly, please tell the people what rich coded means to you and how you've come into this deep mastery and knowing of what it takes to be the rich coded woman.
Oh, yes. What a setup for success with this book. I love it. So here's the thing. I used to be afraid of the word rich. Just hearing the word rich, I couldn't even say it. Like hearing it, I was like, my nervous system just tightened. My brain was like, no, 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 unsafe, alert, asshole, evil people. No, thank you. I felt that for most of my life. Okay. And so what I found is that my brain was responding to the word rich. So even though I was trying to make more money and manifest more money and create more money, how could I do that if I was actually afraid of fucking money? How could I do that if I was afraid of the word rich, if my body didn't feel safe? So, rich coded means that you're literally coding your body, your brain, your field, your cells to be rich in all areas of your life. And it's your way. It's not rich compared to what your dad thinks rich is. It's not
Mm.
rich to what your coach thinks rich is. It's not rich to what your partner thinks it is. It's what rich means to you and how you feel the richness, the fullness in your body, in your field, and how you express yourself as the wealthy, famous, rich woman that you were always meant to be. It's who you are.
Oh my God. That that conversation is so important. I actually love that you just brought up it's not anybody else's definition. It's only your own. Like you get to create your own relationship with this word, with this meaning, how it shows up in your life. And even the people closest to you, it might be different than them, and you have to be okay with that. And you know what? That conversation I don't think is had enough, and I would actually love to extend on that right now, is when you notice as you're going through this expressive journey and you're creating authentically who you are, how, if you've experienced this and your advice on it, how would you go about dealing with noticing a pushback, a little bit of resistance in the 3D world, or the people that are close to you, maybe like you said, your partner, your parents, like the people closest to you in this world, you're evolving and you're shifting, and maybe they are not. How do you work through that type of obstacle?
This is such a good question, and there's so many layers to this question, right? Because everything is based off of what's going on. But the easiest way to answer this is if you feel this feeling of, I know I'm meant for more, I know I'm meant to experience more out of life, and I'm noticing that people around me are okay with where they are. And they're almost just like accepting mediocrity, right?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, I don't want that for myself. And so no one else who's okay with where they are and doesn't want more for themselves, they're not going to give you permission to expand. Mhm. And we're taught to look at them to be like, well, is it going to be okay with them? Am I going to upset them? It doesn't fucking matter what they think, say, or feel. What matters is where you want to go.
Mhm.
And so instead of looking at other people, outsourcing your power and your permission slip, can you move with that feeling of I'm meant for more? I know what I want. I know that I'm capable of anything that I desire. Infinite possibilities are available to me. And so I'm going to give myself the permission to lead from that energy. And why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Are you thinking that you're not allowed to have it because the person in your life who's closest to you is okay with where they are?
Ooh. Oh, you got me there. I actually think something that you mentioned earlier when I was asking you about this rich coded identity and like tap and twerk, you had said that you really are the walking energetic permission slip to be who you are. And I think connecting that to what you just said, where you said you don't need to look at other people for the permission slip, you are the permission slip. That's so fucking powerful. And that's something that is worth investing time and resources and your energy into to really be that person, that resource for yourself. So you're not constantly, like you said, outsourcing your power to those around you. So you're never going to get to your fullest expression by asking other people if you can go. And you know what's funny? I actually just had my mentor check me on that like 2, 3 weeks ago. She's like, Caitlin, you are peeking around at everybody else around you, wondering if it's okay for you to go. And you need to give yourself that permission slip. And I can't even make this up, Kelly. In the moment when she was telling me that, I was like, that's exactly what happened. Like, that's exactly what I learned during Tap and Twerk. Like, I made the connection immediately in the moment. And I haven't heard you use the word permission slip before. So I think it's funny to have made that connection, even, without it being explicitly said. But a couple weeks ago, when my mentor checked me, she's like, you need to be your own permission slip. It made me think back to Tap and Twerk when you were like, express yourself. It doesn't matter who's watching you. It doesn't matter how anybody else is doing their thing, because you're going to look different from her who's tapping twerking next to her, and she's going to look different from the girl across the room. And like everybody's going to be in their own unique expression. And that's the beautiful part. It wasn't even just that's okay. It was that's the beautiful part. And so much of what I believe my experience has been with your work with Tap and Twerk, 'cause I gotten to experience it live twice, which has been beautiful and so incredible, is, and I want people hearing this to really understand this, you get to do it your fucking way. You get to do it your fucking way, and you don't need the outside world to give you that permission. And that's one of the biggest things that I really want everyone listening to this episode to be the takeaway from, or to be their takeaway. So, with Miss Walking Energetic Permission Slip herself here on the Walking Trophy, like, hello, match made in heaven, I have a fun little question for you, Miss Author of Rich Coded. Um, I don't know if you've even thought about this yet, so I'm really curious what your answer is going to be. Can you tell me what your favorite chapter of the book is and why?
Oh my God. I love this question. No, I haven't thought about this. But as you were talking, I was thinking, I was like, there's a whole chapter in the book on this.
I was hoping there would be.
Actually, it's chapter 4. I'm like, what did I even title it? I forget.
Blow it up, girl. Let's hear it.
So it's called Create Your Disruptive Brand with an Obsession-Worthy Following.
Love that.
Yes. And I guide you through how to heal your visibility wounds to become a category of 1. Because, like I said, when I was 14, called a slut, I was wounded from that. Right. And we just walk around our lives being like, okay, I'm building my business, I'm doing this. So, of course, I need strategy. And then what happened is I became a strategy slut, where I was like, strategy, save me, strategy. Like, ooh, I can't get enough of you. And so that never helped my deep-rooted visibility wound. That never healed it.
Oh my God.
Did you just have a...
Yeah, I just have brain blast. I just made a big connection in my mind. Damn. So following those strategies, becoming a strategy slut, TM, like what a phenomenal, phenomenal little title there. Becoming the strategy slut is finding safety in the frameworks that other people have made for you instead of being your own radically expressed version. Holy snapola. That's crazy. That was a big revelation for me. I know somebody listening to this needed to hear that.
And do you now see the connection why you look outside of yourself at strategy and that person leading it to save you?
Oh my God, yes. There's an entire, like, almost victim complex where you need the hero to come in. Oh my God, not the on-air realization.
Oh my
Wow. Okay, so I'm pre-ordering my copy of Rich Coded right now. When does the book officially drop? Like, when is it accessible to the public?
So, I mean, right now you can only get it at Rich Coded Live, which is happening in 3 days. And then after that, I'm going to bring it to Global Icon Live. So I'm going to gift you a copy in your hands. And then after that, the date hasn't been landed yet. So you can get on the wait list to access the book. You can just DM me the word book and we'll get you on the wait list.
Oh, did you guys hear that? If anybody else just had their brain blown away the way that mine did, I need you to message Kelly on Instagram right now and pre-order her book. That's crazy. Okay, well, good to know. I will promptly read it and let y'all know how it is. I mean, chapter 4 just changed my life, so I guess we'll see how the rest of the book is. Oh, Kelly, I love this conversation so much, and I truly believe with every ounce of my being that it just needs to be had more. I think physically more women need to be speaking to each other about these topics. And so, okay, something you had mentioned earlier is that you had something come through to you when you were doing a body-based scaling session about a memory that had popped up for you. And for a little bit of context, everybody, so me and Kelly went to an experience together in November a couple of months ago. It was in February. And we both were given the opportunity to get to lead our body of work for the first time together. So I got to lead my first body-based scaling session the same day that Kelly got to lead her first tap and twerk session. We'd both already created the ideas, like we knew our body of work, but it was the first time we got to facilitate it in person in an environment where we got to see in the moment the way that that work impacted the humans that it was going to impact. And so I've, shared some of my experience with tap and twerk, how it genuinely woke up that permission slip inside of me. And now when I hear be fully expressed, when I hear permission slip, I can go back to tap and twerk and go, oh, yep, I've already taught my body how to do this. And so it was a really powerful, potent experience for me in person to experience tap and twerk. And honestly, guys, go listen to Kelly's podcast because I talk a lot more about my experience with tap and twerk in her podcasts.
Yeah.
So I really highly recommend. I'll drop in the show notes, but I highly recommend listening to that episode because you'll get a lot out of it. But at the same time, you were able to come in and experience body-based scaling, and you shared something with me that blew my fucking mind afterwards because I knew the work was powerful, but getting to see the way that it manifested for you, like broke my brain open a little bit and really helped evolve the way that the work has been brought forward from there on forward. So I would love to hear your experience with this body-based scaling session and why you had the breakthrough that you did.
Yes. So, Caitlin, whether you know this or not, you actually inspired chapter 4 of the book.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Oh my God. I'm going to cry.
She's going to cry while I share the story. So truly, on the airplane, I have to find this in my phone. I started to write chapter 4 with the visibility wounds and the slut story after body-based scaling on the airplane home. So let me just bring it back and share how this happened. So this woman has changed my life. I've already shared this with her, but she doesn't fully know it yet. And so when we did body-based scaling and you were walking us through that somatic experience in our bodies, you had us focus on one area. Mine was my throat. And I'm like, why is my throat so tight? What is locked in my throat? Oh, I wonder because tonight, I don't know where or what time or what's happening, but I'm going to lead tap and twerk for the first time. And I felt myself knowing that stuck in my brain. Should I map it out? Should I plan it? This needs to look a certain way. And so you got me out of my logical mind and into my body. And I felt what was in my throat. And that's when the memory of being called a slut came up for me, which I didn't have those two connected. I forgot about that because I'm very good at suppressing memories that don't feel good, right? Most women are because we feel shame around them and we just hold shame in our bodies. And so I had that in my throat. And what happened is I saw that memory and instead of pushing it away, I'm just like, let's just go there. Let's just see what it wants me to know. And I remembered being called a slut and I'm like, oh, this is why I'm in my head. This is why I'm not in my body. This is why I'm overanalyzing how leading and facilitating tap and twerk is going to go because I'm still operating from the past. I'm still identifying from that past version of me, even though I know what I'm meant for, where I'm meant to be, but I didn't know that was still locked in my throat. And so you had us process that. And then instead of just being like, all right, guys, everything's done. Let's go on throughout our day. It's like, oh my God, now the workout session is beginning. Oh, okay.
Gotta work it.
Okay. Now, instead of just being like, that was fun, I felt the slut experience, it's like, no, and you push us because we want to give up. We want to say, no, this is hard. No, my body, my back, like, help me, please. And so you push us to our edge of facing it head on. And so through that whole body-based scaling, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that I was still stuck there. And so it's like, I forget exactly what you said, but it was about like seeing your competitor face to face, right? And so I saw that person who called me a slut, and I saw the word slut for being my fully expressed self. And I'm like, instead of hiding from her, instead of sweeping her under the rug, instead of just being like, everything's fine, everything's great, I came face to face with it. I came head to head with it, right? And I'm like, I'm going to fucking win. You're going to win. You're not going to control me. You're not going to tell me how this is going to go for me and how the rest of my life and business is going to go. I'm going to fucking win. And so I took my power back in that moment from body-based scaling. And then after that, it was like, my throat chakra is open. I'm free. I'm ready to fully just unleash. And I didn't plan a single thing for facilitating tap and twerk. Why? Because I was in my fucking body. I facilitated that from my body. And so you set me up for success for that. I need you to know that. And then the whole chapter of the visibility wound, which that came full throttle during body-based scaling after. I'm like, oh my God, like I was processing that with you guys because that's how my throat chakra works. I had to like word vomit. And then taking that through is when on the way home, I wrote the chapter of that book.
I First of all, receiving all of that, my heart is like exploding right now just to hear that because it's this full meta moment where you were telling me about chapter 4 and I was like, whoa, that was crazy. I never thought of that before. And then full circle, you were like, oh, hey, did you know that the reason that that came forward is because I was able to channel it, because I was able to liberate it because of the experience. What a crazy full circle moment. Even just that in and of itself is. I'm still blown away by that. And oh my God. Oh my God. The power of liberating what's stuck in our body. I say this all the time when it comes to body-based healing and entrepreneurs that have a massive mission on their heart where they're going to change people's lives and they need to actually let themselves go there. They need to let themselves get to the next level. Is that body-based healing is supposed to bring forward what's stuck and what's blocked and what's trapped, and it's supposed to liberate it. And it's so funny, Kelly. We need to do an event together because that's exactly what Tap and Twerk did for me too. Like it's literally the exact same thing, but in very importantly different ways. Because yours was like, get fucking expressed and do it your own way and break the rules. And mine is like, face your competitor and win. And so it's these different ways of unblocking the stuck pattern and liberating yourself and getting it fully expressed into your body. And I love that you made that emphasis. You're like, I was able to create that tap and twerk experience, which me as the receiver of that facilitation had a mind-blowing experience. You were able to bring forward the potency of that work because you were in your body and not your head. You literally didn't even have to plan the first ever facilitation of a body of work that's going to literally transform generations of women. I mean, that's incredible. That's so liberating to hear that it all just truly came from inside of you. And I also like that you shared how you process your throat chakra and how you need to just like get it out there. Oh my God, that's so incredible. So have you noticed moments since then, since the session, where you've had maybe some of those familiar patterns creep up or you've had that memory come back into your head? And if you have had those moments, how have you then dealt with them with the knowledge that you gained from that session?
Yeah, I mean, because that's still an imprint, right?
Totally.
And we like that because it's like, oh, okay, I can either choose to let this memory win or I can choose to win. And so that's what you taught me because
Oh, good.
anytime it comes up where I'm like, oh, we do that as women. Well, just wait. My outfit for Rich Coded Live is like, what? And so it's very easy to be like, is this too much? And I'm like, Kelly, that's the silliest question. Like, shut up. But those things come up for us, right? And I don't get stuck in it. I'm just like, no. And I know that I can move forward and shift it like that rather than having a memory, an imprint from the past pull you back to that known and familiar feeling of keeping yourself safe.
Wow. Oh my God, that is so freaking powerful. So then, goodness, I'm so like into my body is responding so significantly to what you're saying right now, which is incredible. So then, knowing everything that you've gained from that experience, how are you bringing that forward into the way that you're facilitating Tap and Twerk now? Like for your live first Tap and Twerk live that you're hosting, how are you taking some of that liberated expression and bringing it forward in that environment? Tell me about how the amazing ways that you're going to pop off now.
So, I mean, what I'm going to do as well, because the slut story is just everything. Like, and I know that that's not just my story. right? And you really illuminated that for me because it's like I had that experience and I was ashamed of it. But the women who I'm helping and allowing to become fully expressed, that's their story too, in some way, shape, or form. And that's in their body. And so I'm bringing that full force at Rich Coded Live. And I'm going to have everyone just share before we even get on stage to tap and twerk. Like, I want you to remember when you were name called, when you were shamed, when you were bullied. And I want you to bring that forward because we are breaking that. And we are just taking our power back. We're taking our moment back. We are deciding who we are and not letting the world decide for us.
Oh my God. Sorry, when is this event again? How do we get in the room?
In 3 days in Philadelphia, April 25th.
Oh my God. This is actually going to change generations of human beings' lives. Like, that's so powerful. That's the beauty of all of this work moving forward and of people getting to discover their self-expression and their stories and freeing themselves from it. I feel like there's a lot of people like really liberating themselves, and the way that that gets to impact everybody around us, because at the end of the day, again, it's not just us, it's the people that we get to impact. And so, oh God, what a beautiful thing to get to be in a time where we get to bring this work forward and see it change so many people's lives. So, oh, girl,
I mean, body-based scaling brought it out, so
I'm so honored to hear that. So would you do another body-based scaling session?
yes, like yesterday, immediately, yes, duh. It's like, it's something that you just don't do once, you continue. Because again, your brain and body will fight like hell to pull you back to the old, pull you back to the known and familiar. And if you're left unchecked, you're going to subconsciously and unknowingly go back. So we want to keep moving. We want to keep reprogramming. We want to keep encoding a new identity, and we want to keep that winning mindset and mentality. So fuck yes.
Fuck yes. You heard it here first, folks. Fuck yes. Oh my God. Kelly, this conversation's been so meaningful. It's been potent. Holy hell. You guys saw me broke my brain at least twice in this episode today, which we love. We love a broken brain moment because now we just get to heal her right up and come even stronger forward because of it. So, with all that being said, April 25th, guys, in Philadelphia, go see Tap and Twerk live. If you happen to miss that because you were silly, then May 8th and 9th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, you get another chance to see Kelly lead Tap and Twerk and to get a copy of her book. God, get a copy of her book. Message her for sure to get onto the pre-sale for her book. And then just where can the people find you? How can we message you? What's your IG handle? Is there a website we can find you on? What's your podcast? Give us the tea, Kelly. The people want to know.
Here's the pipe and hot tea. So I'm most active on Instagram at I am RICHCODED. Slide into my DMs. If I broke your brain in any way, shape, or form, just let me know because it's fun. I love to celebrate you. The frequency of celebration is everything. We want to always be celebrating and in that frequency. So slide into my DMs. If you want to get on the wait list for the book when it's available to the public,
Which you do.
you can, which you should. You can DM me the word book, and then Rich Coded Live, April 25th, Fort Lauderdale, May 8th and 9th. And my podcast is called Rewire Yourself Rich, which Caitlin is on as well. So you can hang out there. And I'm also on TikTok, same handle. I'm fully expressed everywhere. So you'll find me, you'll see me, just slide into my DMs.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And also, guys, I will link the episode that the two of us did together to her podcast. So you'll be able to find it really easily. Make sure that she's very accessible. And then just one last thing, Kelly, before I let you go, can you please share with my audience what your definition of winning is?
Oh my.
I know I saved the hardest question for the end, always.
No, this isn't hard. I love it.
Oh.
My definition of winning is just choosing myself when it doesn't make sense, choosing myself, even though everyone else is like, what? Choosing myself, even if the funds aren't there, choosing myself, even if the support isn't there, choosing myself, no matter fucking what, even if my human is like, no, bitch, who do you think you are? Winning is always choosing myself.
I love the human slander. It's so true. That was one of my favorite answers I've gotten to that question, and I need maybe that to be my ringtone in the morning, an alarm clock sound. Fucking choose yourself.
Mhm.
Fucking choose yourself. You literally can't go wrong if you do.
Yep.
Kelly Pender, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I
Oh
appreciate you so
my
much.
God. Thank you for having me, my life-changing girl.